Hey folks, BlackCross and Dal Marr back with Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance.
And now we are gonna go into... I'm scared. I really am. I mean, I've been loving this game, and I'm happy that I'm understanding a lot of the story. That's actually helped me gain more vested in the series. But I'm not... Was that lightning? Oh, it was just particle fest. But I'm also nervous of how the... Because Chris has been telling me the whole time travel thing and...
Yeah, but I haven't fully explained it because... Well, after this I'll explain to some degree.
And that part I'm nervous over, but oh well. Why do I get the feeling it'll be Chillenbog? Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
I knew it. I mean, well, you gotta fight the goat boy or something.
But I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's a pathetic attempt.
Compared to the first game?
Yes. The first one was magnificent.
How could they mess it up? I mean, they got the setting all right. Oh, hi.
You waiting for me?
Yes. The boy chosen by the Keyblade. Riku.
What?
It was yours first, wasn't it? But you succumbed to the darkness you could not control. And your prize, the Keyblade, passed on to Sora instead. Your mistakes always end up being other people's problems.
Maybe so. But I'm here to change all of that.
Once again, you performed predictably, although on a grander scale than I imagined.
If you're feeling so chatty, let's skip to where you reveal what this is all about.
That's gonna be later.
Much later.
I don't know how you did it, but you really have found a way to trap darkness inside your heart. And a boy who's immune to darkness is of no use to us.
Well, there's some good news.
Your abyss awaits.
I'm on fire, mother ducker! Oh, who's putting cardboard smoke in front of us? Okay, so far it seems promising, although I wish they had Ave Maria in this. Would be nice. Okay, here we wait. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
This is like those little entries as to how you get into the world. It's just that?
Pretty much.
Although, do I press triangle and circle, or when I get to him, like
You press the X button.
just X?
Yep, it is that easy. Just press the X button when you get close, when you see the yellow target, that is.
Okay, just let me know when.
Now. See what I mean? Yeah. It is painfully easy.
What? That's just sad.
Yep.
Actually, I think, were those like the little spirit things that you see in throughout the feature or something?
Yeah, the little spirits that he summons.
Alright. At first I thought they were bats from further
They do look like bats, but they're actually like minions of his.
It's like... And they are doing a really crappy job. Just... the heck?
One more hit.
This is like a baby version of a Star Fox level at this rate.
Yeah. The only difference is it gets farther away, but it's no harder than it usually is.
Well, at least I can enjoy some background of... Well, what the... Oh! There we go. I knew I had like one more on me still. Well, if I had all of them off, I thought.
Try to steer away from them if you could. Like area dodge away from them. When they're getting close to you, just immediately aerial dodge.
Yeah, okay.
Because they seem to be hitting a lot harder than the black ones.
Okay, now he's getting serious here.
Very serious, in fact. We're almost done with him, too.
Yeah,
It's over.
that was sad.
Had me scared there towards the end, because those little things were starting to hit harder all of a sudden. It's like,
Yeah, but still, it's like, failure.
yeah, it's like compared to Kingdom Hearts 1, it was better.
Thank you, Riku. Say, can we try out that sound idea?
And that's gonna help Sora later on.
Yep.
It's like, how do I wave to make notes again? Oh, there's Sora's right there.
Yep.
Do we go in it?
No.
Oh, we don't?
No. That's Thora's portion.
Oh, there it goes. That was like, they go spin around and around and around.
There's all the water gone.
I'm a first. Oh yeah, I got a drink, never mind.
That was amazing. Well, what happened?
Sora.
Sora? Funny. Just hearing that name kind of makes me want to smile.
Yeah.
Again, how?
That's how
I'm
he
not.
is.
We already been over this many
What do you
times.
know? Riku and Sora. The sound ideas you two set free joined together. And when they did, they made a great and powerful harmony.
Sora can find the brightest part of anything and pull off miracles like there's nothing to it. It's pretty hard not to smile around him.
Wow. No wonder the music sounded like so much fun. But I bet he's got you to thank for that. Having such a good friend means he could really enjoy it.
Huh?
It's like each of you is holding on to a little part of the other. Your hearts are always in tune, so they're free to sing.
Riku's
Gosh,
singing.
I hope I can be part of the team someday.
Nah.
You will. Trust me.
And then Yancey walks in. Mickey Mortimer Mouse. We have a talk here.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear, I'm scared of the later half. And I'm gonna have to use him very, very carefully for this one. Guys, don't be so glum.
I think they're waiting on somebody to say something.
Master Yen Sid? Gosh, do you think he'll be able to do it?
It's clear you cannot teach a cat to bark. But Merlin and the three good fairies are aiding him in a place that's more temporally flexible.
This is for Axel,
My
right?
hope is that he can at least learn to wield it. He certainly has fire, so I suppose it depends now
Yep,
on how
Axel, I could tell.
strongly it burns.
Oh. But what about Sora and Riku?
Well, If we are running on the assumption Xehanort knew what we were planning, then he still would need to have been there. Back in the very place and time when the Destiny Islands were lost to darkness. Otherwise, Sora and Riku would have been beyond his reach.
Gee, do you really think it's possible Xehanort could have planned things that far in advance?
No,
He has like a little planning book with him at all times.
But what if he did the same thing as Sora and Riku did, and he jumped through time?
For that to work, a version of himself would have had to exist at both source and destination. Not even Xehanort can transport his whole body across vast reaches of time.
Oh no. I remember Xehanort did give up his body. It was a version of him that was possessing Riku.
No, it cannot be. Could he be that cunning? Possess that kind of foresight?
If it's all right with you, can I go help Sora and Riku out?
How? You cannot enter the world of a dream. Where will you go?
If Xehanort really is behind all this, then they won't stay in the dream worlds forever. Eventually, they're gonna reappear somewhere that we can go reach them. And we can even probably guess the place. Follow the hearts, and you'll find the way. That's something Master Aqua told me once.
We're going too.
Aw, fellas, you're my best pals. But this time, I really do need to go it alone.
Bullcrap.
Dangers are greater than anything we've ever faced before. If something were to happen to Sora and Riku and me, why, you'll be the only ones left to keep this world safe.
What can they do?
Donald can confuse him with what he's trying to
I was
say.
not able to locate Sora,
I guess that works enough.
but I
Then
sense
Goofy,
Riku's
well,
presence in the realm
clucks,
between.
so he'll do some major
Yeah.
damage.
Trust your heart, and I know you will find him.
Thank you. I promise I'll bring them both back safe and sound.
So they're talking about Xehanort, like at the time when Riku was in Hollow Bastion, right? Please tell me I'm right. Please tell me.
You're somewhat right.
Dang it!
Let me explain it. They're talking about the time that Xehanort slash
Xehanort?
slash Riku slash Ansem was in Destiny Island at the time. If you remember, that hooded figure is the same voice actor that voiced as Ansem the Seeker of Darkness.
Yeah.
They're basically one and the same.
Is that what they're talking about?
Yes. I will explain more once it gets to that point. Because I feel like if I try explaining it now, it would be too soon. But it will explain.
Okay. And now well, there never was? Huh.
You're just as confused as everybody was.
Well, technically the organization did make the world from darkness, but yet it wasn't created until after the events of Kingdom Hearts 1?
Well, technically it was still in the realm of darkness, and Sora and them couldn't reach it unless they went to the data-tized version of Twilight Town because of Axel's influences.
And since the data was not real, it was just data.
They were able to enter in the realm of darkness because of it.
Since it wasn't part of the real world, that was the only way they can reach it.
Yeah.
So technically, that world was asleep, but was still appearing as it grew stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got that part.
But that's not the real reason for why it's there.
Why? Just when I think I figure out the pieces.
You're right, but that's not the main reason.
Dang it!
This is the part where we find out that the organization dragged them in here.
Oh, didn't I just Didn't I kill you like long time ago?
Just like last time, you just gotta beat the bees and then kill those gems.
Oh, lava? I'm about to attack, but yet...
There you go.
Here we go. Yeah. Here we go.
Hold on.
Faster. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I just got the 2 ones that's next to rings, alright?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not gonna do the spin dash because I think that kind of messed me up some.
Probably. I don't know, but...
Oh,
Oh,
hey!
wow. Nice.
Nailed it!
That was a pretty good.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, now for the wings.
Faster. Faster. Here we go. Yeah.
Nice!
I did it!
It was a little bit rough at the start, but you got it eventually.
Yeah?
The second half of their forms is usually the roughest part. The first half is easy, but the second half of their phases are like, ugh.
Well, I was aerial dodging so much, thinking I was just used to it from...
Jernabog.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this one?
No!
Wait, isn't this?
At least they still have the good plasma screen TVs.
Is the organization's world sleeping too? No, it can't be. I know I definitely found the 7 keyholes already. So I've got to be awake again, and in the real world. But why here?
Oh, what's the matter, sleepyhead?
Who's there? Show yourself!
We jumped through a lot of hoops to get you here. But it looks as if it's gonna pay off.
Wait, is he the dream version or the real version?
Real version. But he's inside the dream, too.
So he just wants to stay bad. Okay. Ah! The eyes.
You're part
Clear
of this?
definition. But then again, he had that eye from the very
Let's hit
beginning.
these plot points in order. Sora, Roxas. First, you must be wondering about your revised itinerary. Why am I here, not back home? The answer's simple. We brought you to this place, hijacked your little slumber party before it started, and ever since we've been both your companions and your constant guides.
Before it started? Oh, the man in the robe! And so that guy in the black coat! And Xemnas!
Bingo! You were able to go back in time to just before your home became a sleeping world, only because a past version of you already existed there. And I can see, in the past, you already met Mr. Robe Guy. Yep, he was there then to make sure you ended up here now.
That's ridiculous!
It sure is. It's too perfect. Who'd ever believe it? Which is why you idiots never saw it coming. You thought you were off doing some kind of test, right? Well, test this. How come you're wearing the same clothes if you're already back home? You are not gonna wake up, okay? Look, there's no real versus dreams anymore. There's just you, us, and this.
So they trapped him with him being sleeping, right?
Pretty much. Their original ideal was to put him through the sleeping worlds for the test, but because a version of Xemnas and them was in the past, they were able to catch up to them because they were all Xehanorts.
So they were planning about Sora, but they couldn't foresee into like them getting the butts kicked in the future?
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just saying, if you time traveled and you knew how Sora's gonna beat the crap, you gotta try other strategies, you know?
What's confusing is that the way they explain it, and I have to let them explain theirs first before I can explain the whole story.
But pretty much, he was telling, Xigbar is telling that they trapped him sleeping so he can be vulnerable to, well... So, okay, I got that part.
Not so much the, but so much the part.
So
They gotta
what?
tickle
At
him?
least I know who
Possess
to blame
him.
for it.
Oh! I was about to say, death by tickling is brutal.
Well, they don't
So
want
still
to kill
got
him,
that
they need
angry
him.
look down. But here is where I tag out. I got
Why?
just a
Because technically, sorry for pausing a whole lot here. But like, are they planning on using him to feed more Heartless to reopen Kingdom Hearts?
Okay, we haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. It's because technically Sora is Roxas.
Yeah.
Roxas was a member of the organization at one point. And since Sora has infused himself with Roxas again as whole, they know how powerful he truly is.
So they're trying to get Roxas back. So, but what about Vin?
Well, here's the thing. If they can't get Vin or Roxas, they'll get Sora. But this will explain later on.
more
Okay.
hoops I gotta
Trust me,
jump
it will
through.
explain, I promise.
The heck?
Come with me.
What?
What's with all the... Are they all Xehanorts too?
Pleasant
They're all
dreams,
Xehanorts.
kiddo.
Multiple versions? What?
Here we go. Plot point time.
That's the original Xehanort, right? Or...
No, that's Xemnas.
And
Or, not Xemnas.
that's Old Man Jenkins right there.
Pause it real quickly before I get myself backwards on this one.
Okay.
Technically, that guy is young Xehanort.
Okay.
That was him when he was younger.
Before his old age in Birth by Sleep.
Yes. And then the robe is Xehanort after he became just a heart.
Okay.
Now, allow me to explain this part.
Oh no.
The reason why you see Xehanort there is because technically he only used part of his heart to control Terra, while his actual heart transported through time. And I'll let the game explain the rest.
This was where it started. At this point, I still had no idea that I was talking to myself. He cast away his bodily form just to set me on the appointed path.
What do you mean?
That is Xehanort, reduced to just a heart. The being you and your friends called Ansem.
Whoa!
Okay, that seems kind of...
Him. Is that?
Yes. The point in time that Xigbar mentioned.
Me. Right before my world was swallowed by the darkness.
To move through time, you must leave your body behind. Ansem first sent me on my way, and then placed himself here when the time was right. That is what set all these events in motion.
What are you saying? That he knew everything that would happen?
No, not everything. But remember, Ansem possessed Riku and saw his experiences in real time.
So? That could only tell him so much. How did he know I would be here today?
Simple.
Kairi! Oh, ah!
Although that was terrifying seeing Kairi jump out.
Yeah. This is meta right here.
What is...
Explain.
Hold on.
Don't turn it on multiple Soras. Wait, is this Sora throughout the entire time of Travis Town?
Journey, your voyage through memories, in the datascape.
Oh, there was the part where I'm going on the analog stick. They don't have that model recorded.
Relived again and again, like deja vu.
King Mickey? Oh.
So Ansem, or Xehanort, Bobby,
Donald,
was able to go
Goofy.
through time to see everyone's single movement to see where Donald and Goofy's gonna be going, Pluto backtracking to find Sora and everything.
To some degree, yes, but that's only because they're using Sora to do it. Allow me to explain it in this perspective. Okay, what you just saw is more or less of a visual ideal of what would happen if you saw every timeline at the exact same time. Remember, he said about your first journey, the memories, the datascape, and then even through Dream Drop Distance. Imagine seeing all of them in the same time. So as Sora is entering through Traverse Town, you're seeing him exiting him, along with the interactions from Chain of Memories, Dream Drop Distance, the datascape. Basically, it's showing all the events in one area. They don't see each other, but they go through their normal time frame.
How the heck is Xehanort be able to keep track? Alright, that's Sora from back in 2002. That's Sora. Will you stop moving around this town and trying to jot all this notes down here?
Because they're not doing that. They've got Sora in their hands right now.
The reason why they got him in the dream is that they can see all of his memories of where he's, all the places he's been and destinations he's went through.
Technically, yes, but they're showing Sora what they can do in terms of time traveling. It's like so long as there's a version of view, they can travel as often as they want. Such as how Xehanort has been able to do it too. Okay, now before we go on, allow me to explain even further about what's going on.
I'm not enjoying this.
Okay, so, this requires a lot of critical thinking and a lot of letting go of the sense of reality.
That is two things I am not going to do very lightly.
Okay, so, if you remember, Xehanort released his heart to try to possess Terra.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why Terra had amnesia at the time was because his whole heart was not possessing Terra, only a part of his heart. So while a part of his heart was controlling Terra, his whole heart went back in time to his younger self. For the time being, we're going to call him young Xehanort, or Bob if you would prefer.
Just go with Bob.
Okay.
I like Bob.
So, at the time, Xehanort visited Bob so that he could teach him the ability to travel into time to go forward. And
Did he hear about this back then, or?
He told him all the events that would happen. Now, as soon as Bob went forward into the future, Xehanort, aka Ansem, sit in the sidelines and waited his time from when Destiny Island would fast forward to where Sora, Riku, and Kairi in the first one was fixing to leave the island. His interaction between Riku and Sora would soon transpire into his motion of planning. His original plan was to control Riku and make him into a vessel.
But considering that Sora was chosen by the Keyblade, they decided to switch to Sora.
Not that. Now, Riku technically had the ability to control the Keyblade, but because he sided into the darkness originally, the Keyblade chose Sora. Well, eventually Riku became immune to darkness finally. So, because of that, they can't control Riku anymore. So, they're moving on to Sora because Sora hasn't been interacted with darkness at all. So he's not aware of darkness, so they figured we can implant him now.
But because of then, since the darkness left Sora's heart, which later became why was I saying Velveeta for a sec? Ventus, it became from Sora's darkness, and Sora is just all light.
Partially.
I hate these. I want to at least be right on one thing.
For the moment, concentrate on Xehanort. For example, how he's able to do this and why he's doing it. The same reason he's been doing this. To get the Keyblade and start the Keyblade War.
Okay. I just wish it didn't have to involve time travel.
Trust me, that's the part that gets confusing, is the fact that technically we were only familiar with one way of time traveling, which was that magic door from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
But apparently there are multiple ways to be able to time travel. In this case, traveling with your heart to go back in time to a previous version of yourself is that way in this game's case.
Oh, man.
At first it sounds difficult, but like I said, it took me nearly 3 years before I finally figured it out.
This is... Why can't it just be simple? I'm sorry if I'm being mean here, but seriously, no one's gonna keep track of this.
Especially whenever you have to replay the same ideal over and over again just to figure out, okay, is this what he meant? Is this how it works? What?
Alright.
It is a sense of like, you have to kind of throw away a sense of reality and figure out where the plot point begins.
So just go to Riku or what?
You can either start as Riku or start back as Sora. I think
Wait, I can?
I think it should be able to. It only showed that sequence because technically they're trapping Sora back into a dream again.
But he was already in a dream.
Well, they're trapping him into a deeper slumber.
Wow, they're gonna make Sora the excellent slave. What the heck?
Huh? Am I back? Wait! Your Majesty! Donald! Goofy!
Wait, where's Sora? Aside from there!
They put him back in time even deeper. But at the same time, they're trapping him into a dream.
Nominee!
What?
Is that you? Wait! Nominee! I've got a message for you. I meant to tell you once this was all over. Huh? Who are you?
Roxas.
Why am I... What? Hey, wait!
But what was Mickey, Donna, Goofy there without Sora? What the heck? What the... Oh.
Yeah.
Cut through the white lines in the chains.
It's the analogs.
Oh, so now I can play?
Yeah. Technically, there's like a little line that goes through, and you can move that line, and then when the chains align, you can just hit a button and it slashes through the chains. The weak points, anyway. You're gonna find that one piece, aren't you?
Yes. Guess that's the... Wait.
That's the regular one. Fancy. There you go. There now. Now you can make your bunny.
Yes, that's all that matters. After the confusing, like... Okay, I mean, the concept idea of time travel sounds interesting, but the problem is the way they're executing it is like... You have to be very specific of like what portion and... Oh man, oh.
That's what I hated about this part, was that part wasn't making sense to me. It's like, they kept talking as if like it was like this big magnificent scoring, but yet it's like, okay, well you're not quite explaining it the way that time travel works. Because the way they explain it, technically time travel can work, but it doesn't affect anything. In other words, you can't change the future that's destined to happen.
But yet, if they go back and alternate, wouldn't that like leave into a space-time continuum or something?
That's what I was thinking too. It's like, eventually it would all mess everything up. And it's like, they're getting rid of the ideal that it's affecting time, and instead time flows one way and never alternates.
I think the reason why they want to try a different, unique way of time travel, which I'm all up for, like having your own unique twist into like time travel science and all that, but the execution is making it kind of hard to follow.
It is.
And like, I know I keep being mean about the whole story issue. I'm getting it, well, minus this part here.
Yeah, this is the part. This is the part that drains the energy of Kingdom Hearts fanbase.
Yeah, it's like with the Ven, and then the darkness from Sword that later become Ventus. That makes sense. That's actually really cool. And the whole Aqua, yeah, but it's like,
once you get to the time travel part,
because not everyone is good at. This is the reason why I prefer simple storytelling. Not that I don't like my complexity, but sometimes they can just make it so confusing. And anyway, let's just name this little bunny rabbit. I know what I'm gonna name it.
Really?
You okay?
Why?
What?
You named it Bonnie!
Oh yeah. Is that a bad thing?
No, but I'm just saying.
I still miss my little bonbon.
Oh. Just as playful as Bonnie too.
Yeah. Actually, question: do I have black spray paint? I don't know if I do or not.
Should.
And then Mr. Wheezy. That's my team. A cat, a rabbit, and a penguin.
In a spa. I think we got black.
Let's see, is that it?
Yeah, we have black.
Oh wait. Oh, crap. Can I... Oh crap. Can I not move the... Okay, there it goes. Now hold still. Up. Hold still, you little bugger! Gosh.
You're gonna need more black.
Yeah, luckily I actually have... I don't think I barely buy any stuff from the Moogle shop, because look how much money I have.
Yeah, you got plenty. I don't think you need that much, but just in case, yeah.
30.
That works.
I mean, paint's only like $10. $10 per...
One.
Yeah. Now then, yes, the... Training toys. Why would paint be under training toys? Who does that? Although if she was an actual rabbit, she would... Oh gosh, no, Stumpy! Here, I'll fix your buddy, Yuxie!
Okay.
I hope this paint is lead-free. That's the only thing I'm hoping for.
I think she's about as black as she's gonna get, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, now that I think about it, make him look more like Pablo.
Okay. Making him blue?
Yeah.
Make it blue.
I think that type would work. Now just don't move a muscle. You can dance, yes, but don't walk. There it goes!
We have our dream team, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we have a rabbit, a cat, and a penguin in a spa outfit. I would... Seriously, that's perfect. That is...
That is our team now.
Yes. Oh, look at her. She's a... I love her little ears standing on the yellow ears.
This is what we needed after me trying to explain the whole time travel.
Yeah, you can. You get a go. You go.
But you get what I'm saying, where you have to kind of throw away your sense of reality just to where you can understand the ideal plot point.
Yeah, I can understand. I appreciate the uniqueness, but oh man, is it? I'll figure out. I get the feeling there's a lot more to it.
There technically is a lot more, but I have to... Right now, we're going to concentrate more on the Xehanort process of time traveling, which I feel like I kind of need to explain a little bit more.
Go ahead, because we're going to be... I think for the rest of the episode, we'll just be beating up some more Dream Eaters here.
Okay, so... Like I was saying before, the ideal process began whenever Xehanort went back in time after separating his body from his heart, trying to possess Terra. And like I said, he was only using part of his heart.
But before that, like, he knew he wanted to start the Keyblade War again, ever since even before Birth by Sleep. So that was his plan.
Yeah.
To go back in time to tell him what will happen.
Yes. But keep in mind, he has been trying to do this for years, and he realizes that he's going to go through failures regardless of what happens. You press the X button.
Okay, I just thought it was a...
Yeah. You're like me. You were thinking it's the same way, but it's like, no, it's not. It's
I cut through the...
The white chain, yeah. There.
Ah!
There you go. This is actually a lot more easier to figure out.
Took me a sec.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. So, he knew he wanted to start the Keyblade War.
But he also knew that all of his attempts will only lead to failure, to eventually where he will succeed one day. So, he figured as a backup plan, he goes back in time to tell his younger self of the ideal plan.
Whoa, hello! Whee! Okay, that's kind of fun. Go ahead.
But he told his younger self of all the things that's going to happen, and told his younger self to go into the future so that he can see what's going to happen.
And how far in the future can he go? Can he be like any point in time, or...?
Just to where his older self will reappear. In other words, the only way you can time travel in Kingdom Hearts is if there was a younger or older version of yourself waiting at the end. In other words, depending on which one is considered to be the present time, which we're going to assume that technically Dream Drop Distance is the present time, there is no future version yet, but there is just the present, meaning that of older Xehanort reappearing. Young Xehanort transported into the future so that he can meet up with Master Xehanort, along with his other versions of himself. And because of the fact that they are different versions of Master Xehanort, he's able to grab them from different time points and transport them into the present.
That, the way that you explained it, made a lot more sense than what they were doing in the game.
Oh, trust me, the way they explained it, it wasn't fully explained. It was like, wait, what? What?
The way you explained it, I appreciate more. Because he had the right idea. Make backup plans, that in case if that doesn't work, bring one of his Xehanorts back to one point to help in this scenario. That makes sense, actually. Now I'm just imagining him having a little book club together, like, okay, welcome all, I'm gonna say there's like 25, 30 Xehanorts to our book club together. We all got books from different points of time, so we're gonna all go ahead and get together.
Okay, well, allow me to throw this ideal, because we haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm only going to explain the first half.
Okay.
Now, we knew that technically his original plan was to have Vanitas and Ventus fused together to form against the Keyblade, known as the X-Blade.
Yeah.
Which, to save people from being confused between the two
it has
weapons,
an X in it.
Yeah, we're going to call it the
X-Blade. But they call
X-Blade.
it Key instead of X-Blade.
Yeah, but I'm going to call it the X-Blade to help people out. So, his original idea was to have one person of light, pure light, and one person of pure darkness fight against each other, and once they clash, it will fuse into the X-Blade. I wanted to keep calling it the Keyblade, but just to help people remember, it's the X-Blade. Anyway, so Xehanort was afraid that that was going to fail. So he figured, okay, I need a backup plan. So remember how he technically chat with Maleficent in Birth by Sleep?
Yes.
He set her up, mind you, set her up to where she could bring the 7 Princesses of Hearts to him. She didn't realize this, but he wanted Maleficent to gather the 7 Princesses of Hearts together in one spot to where he can use them. Now, allow me to explain this scenario. Do you know why he has strictly 13 organization members?
But, I just figured, why not have a good number? Well, technically if they had a Xehanort still, that would have been 14.
But there's always been 13. Even Xemnas explained it to Roxas in 358/2. There has always been 13. Do you know why?
Why is that?
What if I told you Master Xehanort's main plan was to use the 7 Princesses of Hearts and the 13 organization members to fuse into the Keyblade, the X-Blade?
Wait, but that doesn't make sense because you have 7 of pure heart, of pure light, but then you have 13 of pure darkness.
Because legend said that the Keyblade was separated into 20 pieces. 7 of light and 13 darkness.
Holy crap, that...
Everyone? Mind blown!
I didn't think of that.
Yes.
Because when you put it like that way with Flying Dark, I was thinking that it'll be an imbalance, but with, so technically, wouldn't that mean he will be using himself, in that equation since he's the first organization member with Xemnas?
Even if that was the case, he thought this through, but I haven't quite explained that part yet, mostly because it will explain later on. I promise it will explain. Towards the end of this world, rather.
In its own weird writing, which I will have to use you for reference.
Bingo! I would have to explain that part, but like I said, that was Xehanort's secondary plan, which Sora and Riku foiled.
And so he had a plan C.
Yes. Master Xehanort is a practitionist, a man with many plans. If one fails, he has a new one backed up and ready for just in case. Which is why, if you remember in one of the Kingdom Hearts 3 earlier trailers, it showed him and Ericus when they were younger playing chess. It's literally setting up the stage of Kingdom Hearts 3 where technically he has been trying to plan this from the very beginning. It's been all a chess game to him.
Well, now he's just, the way you say is, make him actually a very confident villain.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so brilliant, is that he's very confident that he will succeed regardless of how many failures he goes through, because he has a new one ready in reverse, or in reserve, is the word I should say. But you get what I'm saying so far.
Okay, this isn't actually as bad as I was thinking it was gonna be.
Trust me, whenever I first played this one and they explained that part, I was so lost and confused. I was like, what? And then years later, only until recently, I was like, now I finally understand. Why didn't they explain it that way? It's like you have to throw away your sense of ideal.
Come on.
Oh boy. That had me scared.
Yeah, those dinosaurs, they don't mess around. Why am I not? Wake up. Wake
You're
up. Wake up.
stunned.
Wake up. Wake up. Okay. Okay, that does. I'm gonna kill you with balloons.
It works.
Now I can open up this chest.
Also, I know technically this is going on a lot longer than it should,
Yeah,
but I had to explain it to where you could understand, and hopefully you understand. Because, like I said, unless you throw away your sense of reality, only then could you truly understand. And believe me, it took me 3 years to figure this shit out.
3 long years, and I'm gonna go ahead and get a drop me not, because I am almost running out of time. There we go. But man, that is genius. But
at the same time, before you can even understand it, you had to figure out what's going on and stuff, and it does make it for a very confusing plot line. And it's like, until you had someone explain everything to you at one go, could you truly appreciate the brilliancy, but at the same time, the interestingness of the actual plot.
It's
and unfortunately this game does a poor job of explaining it.
Yeah, maybe if they like written it differently to where it be more simplified, then maybe it could work. But
or even more or less showed what young Master Xehanort was doing. You know, showed his view in rather than showing Sora's
technically
view.
They could do that, because he could transport to his time period to say, this is where I was planning, and this is where I began my first phase.
It's like, unfortunately, they didn't even go as far as to explain that part. And it's like, until you have... And that's the best part about the Kingdom Hearts community, is that there were so many people trying to figure out this theory, because this was, like, by far the biggest brick wall. It's one thing about the whole Heartless and Nobody thing, the whole Xemnas and Ansem thing, that was confusing enough as it is. And then you had the Master Xehanort and stuff like that. That was another thing. But this one was so big, it was taller than the frickin' Great Wall of China, I bet. Everyone was trying to figure this problem out. And we finally figure it out. We hope. Before Xehanort decides to throw another plot device in the mix.
I'm actually even more scared for Kingdom Hearts 3.
It's just one of those things where it's like, the more Nomura decides to do these plot twists, the more and more I think he doesn't realize that it's pushing the fan base back. I mean,
it's not making them want to enjoy the game, but more or less get so confused with the story that drops them away. Heck, that's the reason why I stepped back from the series, was with all the prequels and stuff, instead of moving forward or making it simplified. That's why I still love the series. Heck, the first game will always be special to my heart. But in terms of like getting more involved with the other games, it's like, it's just not interesting me. But the way you helped me, and I do thank you for helping me with all of this. It really is. And Bunny's so cute.
It's one of those things where it's like, once we got to here, I knew this would be the biggest problem. And it's like, if I don't figure out a simpler way to explain it, no one was going to enjoy this. So I was like, okay, I know technically how it works, but how can I explain it for newer audiences? So I'm looking back at all the different ideals that people have stated, and I'm like, okay, I know the basic ideal. I hope I can explain it to where people can understand. So I hope
class is done, children.
I hope you out there understand what I was trying to say, because if he can understand it, which thank goodness you do, because I don't know any other.
I understand so far. The other portion you're not telling me. You're my storyteller. This game is not my storyteller. You are.
Because unfortunately, it's failing in that area. But mostly because we haven't gotten to that part. And by the time we get to the end of Sora's portion of this part of the world, that's whenever I will explain what was going on. Because I think they explained that part a little bit better. But if you don't quite get it, I'll explain it further even more.
You're gonna be getting a lot of notifications, I tell you that much.
Like I said, I hope you understand. If I have to make a video to make it easier for people, I will. Although that's gonna be one hell of a video to work on, but I can do it. I can do it.
Anyway, I know this episode gone quite a while.
But we knew it was gonna be probably an hour-long video once we got to here.
But now it's got me intrigued more. It's like, okay, I wonder how the further on, like, I now understand how he got started, but I wonder how it kind of drifted with the other games as well.
Right. So, at any rate though, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video where we will finish off Sora's portion of this world. And then we will probably start on Riku's, depending on how far it is. Because technically, the world that never was isn't that big, but the map scale is big.
Yeah, the map scaling was big.
Yeah, this is only the first part. There's technically 3 segment maps, technically.
Yeah, which I will probably need to level up Riku. He was like, what, level... Yeah, level 31, and level grind him up a lot.
Yeah, it's like Sora, I was like, yeah, I think you can handle Sora's part easy. Riku's, he has a lot more bosses towards the end. A lot more bosses, so you're probably going to need to level him up quite a bit.
Yeah, which I will probably do after we get done recording.
So anyway though, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if what I've said makes a lot more sense to you guys. And let us know if this has been an encouragement to get back into the series again, because...
It's been for me. It has been for me.
Because technically after Dream Drop Distance, there's still one more that Dal Marr needs to play before Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh.
Thankfully it's not as long, but still. Anyway though, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. This is BlackCross and Dal Marr signing off.
Goodbye.
See you later, guys.